everyone, so I'm Aelite Andre. I'm an abstract painter. I'm from Melbourne in Australia, and I started painting when I was 9 months old. So how it all happened was that, well, my parents used to paint a bit before I was born and when I was really little. And well, at one time my dad was just painting, and he went out of the room, I think, to get something for a few minutes in the room which is now my painting area. And I was just sort of cooling around in the area at that age, and I saw the canvas on the ground and I was really curious, so I crawled up to it, and then I just saw everything and saw all the paints, and then I started squirting the tubes out and experimenting with everything, and that's basically how I started painting. Also, yeah, my mum was actually really scared that I would start eating the paints. I didn't start eating the paints, I was just experimenting with everything and enjoying it so much, and basically creating a painting, and they saw that I really cared about what I was doing. And then by the time I was 2 years old, I'd already done around 20 paintings, and my parents really saw something unusual in it and really saw something special, and I think that, well, they were really inspired by it, and they basically thought it was worth taking to a gallerist. And at that time they basically, yeah, they just showed my paintings, and the gallerist didn't know my age, and he thought they were the works of an adult, and my mum didn't say anything about my age and he didn't ask. They went ahead with the exhibition, and he just had no idea, but then my mum brought me in, and she actually told him my age because he said, "Oh, I'd love to see the artist," and he could have refused to exhibit them, but he didn't, and he actually went ahead with the exhibition. So that was just so amazing, and I think that I'm so eternally grateful for that, and I'm so happy that that actually happened, and I think it's really amazing. And then that same year, when I was 2 years old, I had a solo exhibition internationally, which was my first ever international exhibition in Hong Kong, and I don't think I really understood at all what was going on. It was just so much, I don't know, so many people everywhere, and just all looking at paintings that were mine, and I don't know, it was so magical, but I didn't really understand what was going on. Of course I was 2. And then by the time I was 4 years old, I had another sellout show like the previous one, but in New York, and that was my first time in New York. And then I think that was the first time I really understood what was going on, because I'd had other previous exhibitions before, but I really saw that all of the paintings on the walls were my own, and people were actually crowding around and looking at them, and it was just so magical. I was really happy and also really proud of myself. I was just like, wow, they're all looking at my paintings, and it was so cool to actually see that, and I was so excited. And I remember running around the room and in between everyone, and just sort of seeing what they were all doing and what they were talking about and what they were looking at. And also at one point I was rolling around on the ground singing, which was really funny. And then I remember all the interviews as well, and I was just so happy to answer all the questions, and yeah, it was an amazing experience. And then after that, when I was 6 years old, I was invited to Utah in the US, and I painted live in front of 20,000 people, and it was just, I don't know, I couldn't comprehend what was going on. It was so amazing and otherworldly. So that was the first time I ever put a violin on one of my works. I'd never included a violin before, and that was, the idea was sort of derived from a theory called the string theory by the theoretical physicist Michio Kaku, who basically, well, the theory goes as the entire universe, even on a smaller level than atoms, is made up of constantly moving and vibrating and changing connected strings, and basically that forms the entire material or fabric of the universe. And sort of taking from that theory, I came up with the idea that that's connected to music, because, well, connected to the strings of a violin, and sound just plays a completely vital role in the universe, and it makes up everything of the universe. And even on a massively large scale, or a really small scale like those strings or atoms, everything is slightly moving in a way that it creates music, and it creates a certain sound, and it has its own song. And in the music, I mean, in the universe, you can't hear any sound, and all my paintings, well, my paintings usually show the universe, and they're about the cosmos, but I have synesthesia, which is basically a certain, like, well, in the brain, it's when sounds are connected to visuals. So when I hear sound, I see a visual in my head. And it's sort of, that was the idea behind that sound and music is always in the universe, and it makes up everything, and it's got a vital connection and is the fabric of, us and everything in the entire cosmos. As I said, everything has its own song. And even if you can't actually hear that sound, it's always there and it always exists, even if it's in the form of colours or something else, or just some feeling that you have. And that was sort of the idea behind the violin being a central piece in the artwork, that it shows the real gravity of sounds in the universe and how they're a part of everything. And then after that, when I was 9 years old, I had an exhibition in the Royal Academy of Fine Arts Museum in St. Petersburg, and I was also the first ever child to have an exhibition in a museum, a solo exhibition, which was so magical and amazing for me. And I remember that the building was so interesting because it's so old, and I was running around all the different, basically passages and small stairwells, so that was amazing. But yeah, that was the first time I'd ever played any of my paintings, and I played my violin, which was the first ever sound painting that I made, because there were different touch points on the canvas, and each one of them triggered a different sound. And I actually went outside into the forest near my house to record those sounds. So some of them were frogs, some of them were birds, and also I added in a sound of me making a horse sound, so that was really cool. But yeah, all of the sounds were changed and amplified and sort of, not distorted, but morphed a bit. And the same was done to the violin, so it created this almost otherworldly, cosmos-like sound. And I remember it was just such a stunning experience with all my paintings being in the room and a crowd of people behind me, because it was on the opening night. I was just playing everything, and I remember twirling a bit as well when I was doing that. And it was so cool. And yeah, I don't know, it was just amazing. It was like an out-of-body experience, hearing all those sounds just echoing around the building and the room. So yeah. And then in 2020 and 2022, I won the Global Child Prodigy Award twice in a row. We went to the, they managed to hold the ceremony in Dubai, and that was just, I think that's the very first time that I actually really, really comprehended the weight of what was going on, because before that, I mean, everything, my entire career has been with me since I was 9 months old, but then I really realised that I was in a room with 100 other children who'd received this award, and it was just such a stunning experience. So yeah. And then, well, as of 2023 now, a biography about me by Skira has been released, and it's 208 pages long, and it's been worked on since 2016, so just so much amazing effort has gone into it, and I'm so happy and excited to see it finally released. And yeah, it talks about everything that has changed so far and all the challenges and struggles, but amazing things about being in the professional art world from such a young age, and everything that's happened so far, and about my career and changing inspirations and how it's evolved. So yeah, that was just, it's so amazing. And also, my dog. And this behind me is actually the cover for the book. So yeah, and there's also a documentary about me as of 2023. And I'll just play the trailer now.
Well, I can say that without a doubt, Aelite Andre is a genius.
I see music as colours. I speak through paint, and I love paint. Hello, my name is Aelita. I started painting when I was 9 months old.
artistic freedom, which is what makes her this amazing artist.
Muse-Art Foundation organized a concert.
They wanted Aelita to be an ambassador to preserve art in the American education system.
At 8 years of age, she was invited to exhibit in the Royal Academy of Fine Arts Museum.
Aelita сама по себе уникальный ребенок.
9-year-old girl done gorgeous things like this. It's amazing, really.
She did the sound design for her own show.
The idea behind the singing paintings of mine is like I wanted to show that the whole universe has its own beautiful sound and it can speak.
Her process is completely uncensored, primal, subconscious.
Amazingly liberated gestures.
Maybe this is the way our earliest thoughts can be expressed.
Inducing the child into another language in which the child will rapidly develop a kind of expertise.
That's finished.
Incredible paintings worth an international audience.
My paintings represent life and love, all the good sides of everything.
For the first time, we're seeing child art monumentalised.
When I first encountered Aelita's work, I experienced a deep personal connection. Visitors travel hundreds of kilometers to see her work in person.
It's as if the universe is going to be born in front of your eyes. It's amazing.
A 2-year-old kid can do it.
And I think that looking back on everything that's happened so far and everything in my career, it's, I don't know, it's just, I really get the sense that things that have inspired me actually really played a crucial role, because earlier I said that I really love nature and it really inspires me, but now I just see the actual gravity of it, because nature, I think, is just so spontaneous and really neutral in a really, I don't know, amazing and unashamed sort of way. And I think that it's so contrary and opposite to humans, because humans try and make everything really ordered and methodical, but nature is just this sort of constant spiraling and changing intuition. And I think that that's so important and vital in a person creating art. You have to be really true to yourself and completely free, and not try and think about what brush you're going to use or what sort of brush stroke you want. I think that art is when you just connect your emotions to the paper or anything and just start drawing, just a scrap piece of paper or anything. I think that anything that really has a part of you in it can be art, even if you've gone to a massive amount of effort, or even, you know, something else, just as long as it's a real part of you. So I think it's really important to know that, because a lot of people don't understand that. And also in my artworks, because they so often show, well, they always show the cosmos and nature in such a colourful way, I really want to get that across, that nature is just so vital in giving inspiration, and just by existing, it's so magical, and it's this really genuine and absolutely vital core aspect of the world that is, well, really a massive threat now. So I just really want to get the message out there that it's so important. I think that it should be really protected, because it's what a lot of that spontaneity and intuition is basically derived from in artworks. It's magic is just everywhere, I think. So I really love it, and yeah, I want to show the beauty of nature in my artworks with all the colours, and I think that that spontaneity also gives people glimpses of different creatures, because I've heard people say that they see different animals in my artworks that whenever they look from a different angle, and I've seen different creatures. So I think that it just, when you're really free and you don't think about what you want to do, but you just really do whatever you care about, it's such an important thing. And also a lot of people, when someone says, you know, you have to choose one thing, or you have to really plan how you're going to do this, or you have to make sure that your goal is realistic, or plan how you're going to go about it. I think that's really insane, and it's completely wrong, because you have to do whatever you want to do in your life, and don't ever let anyone act like you have to put a sort of facade around your dreams, and, you know, really focus on what exactly you're going to do, and, you know, what's going to be the most realistic, or what is going to be most palatable for other people, or what other people are going to want, because a lot of people really think about what others would want them to do, or what would be appealing to others, but that's just the opposite of what you need to do. I think that the real, you know, passion, and when something is really driven by its inner force, that's when it really shows. And it's important that you do exactly what you want to do, and don't listen to anyone else and what they tell you. So no matter what circumstances you live in, or just, I don't know, just anything around you, or the chances that you think you have of succeeding in life, what you want to do, I think that doesn't matter. You just have to do what you care about, and genuinely, inevitably, I think that you will absolutely get there. So I think that those things are just really important to say, and I really wanted to get that out there. So thank you so much for listening to me, and I absolutely loved saying all this, so thank you, and bye bye.